I want to talk to Vincent from England, who called in earlier here. Vincent, you are live on Truth Wanted. What's up?
Hi guys. Hi Dan. Hi Nate. Dan, you might remember me from a couple of weeks ago. I spoke about faith healing in the UK.
Yes.
And something I've been thinking about since then as well. When I was younger, I had a book called 101 Science Experiments that you can do at home, and everything you can get at home, you can do these science experiments. Tells you about how it's done, why it works, and even in school, like in science classrooms, we did experiments like the water cycle and bits and pieces like that. And like, it's always funny when I hear a theist call in and say, explain your science books, show me that the science books work. And I'm like, well, I've got 101 experiments that I can show you that proves science works. How can these people dismiss science when they've probably done science at school?
Yeah.
Not so much the home science, but at least, like I said, we did a experiment in the classroom with the water cycle. So it's just like, I'm so confused when they say explain it. Do they actually want?
Yeah, I think here's the reason I think for that, Vincent. I think, for one, they don't accept necessarily everything what you're talking about as science. They might accept some of what you're talking about as just common sense, right? Or something that's just so unbelievably deniable that, you know, it's not even up for a debate. Most Christians I would talk to, right, I don't think would deny the water cycle. But for some reason, other kinds of sciences, like the geologic dating of the Earth, or evolution, things like that, that becomes more questionable because it's a more direct attack, I guess you could say, on some deeply held beliefs there, and it becomes politicized. And there's a history of that in the United States specifically. There's people my age and older who have now grown up in this system of people questioning this in even the public school systems. There's so many public schools in this country where people are teaching evolution and they will straight up say, yeah, I don't believe in any of this, but I'm required by state law or law to just, you know, to teach this for you anyway. And that culture of denial is still so present, at least in my part of the world, that it almost becomes like it's like that kind of science is somehow a separate, almost political science that doesn't actually count, because for some reason these people have a specific agenda in mind, whereas people who are studying, I don't know, the water cycle or you know, other kinds of just more accepted sciences don't. So it is kind of a weird cognitive dissonance there that people don't solve. But yeah, I mean, it is truly at the end of the day because it's in direct response to some people's beliefs. I think you can find examples of that in other kinds of religious traditions too. You know, like in Islam, there's a lot of talk about what's up with, like, you can't keep dogs around. Usually a lot of Muslim people don't have dogs, and this isn't everybody, this is within particular Muslim sects, because there is a verse that says that dogs are unclean, and they'll try to use science to prove this as well. They'll talk about what science has shown about dogs and what it can do for people, and like, it's weird how it can go both ways, you know. There is like some kind of political agendas to some sciences and not to others, which is weird. But it's especially prevalent here in the U.S. Because of the history of just evangelicals trying to fight that on a Supreme Court level. So
I think a part of it too is a misunderstanding of what science is. You know, like they kind of look at it as this monolithic body of knowledge that thou must not contradict. Yeah. And it's not really that. It's a method, right? It's a process for finding out what's true and what isn't. You know, like science can make predictions. Religion can't really make predictions. Like the only real one that I can think of is from Ezekiel, when they predicted that the city of Tyre would be destroyed, and then it totally wasn't, right? But But science can make predictions. Religion can't do that. And the only thing that makes science better is more science, right? Religion doesn't get better with more religion. In fact, I think, as the fundamentalists in the United States would demonstrate, they can only make it worse.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Very, very true.
Yeah. And even down to things like, obviously with what's been going on lately, the amount of scientists that say, don't open up yet, there will be it will just spread again too quickly. Mm-hmm. And they go, oh, we're not going to listen to you. People need to get back out there. And then suddenly, oh dear, we're back into another.
Yeah, or like, well, one of you was wrong last year, so now everybody, now we're not going to listen to science at all.
The vaccine hesitancy is especially frustrating, if only because most people who are vaccine hesitant have probably already have vaccines for like chickenpox and other stuff that they got when they were kids. And suddenly now it's just this new one that has some, I don't know, suspicion attached to it. It's very, very frustrating. Very, very frustrating. But that's another example I think of, oh, well, because this political party is really all for it, then I have to be skeptical of this, and I think there's a couple of different examples you can point to that besides just the vaccine stuff. But yeah, it is tearing our society apart. And I don't know what to do about it except talk on call-in shows once a week. I'm trying to do my part, but man, it's hard. And it seems like we've been losing that battle so far. Most people are not vaccinated yet, despite being in a country where you can get it for free. I mean, that's what's most frustrating. But anyway.
What, free healthcare? I wouldn't know anything about that.
Yeah, I know. It's sad.
Yeah, I got my for free, so I'm quite happy.
Yeah, there are so many people out in this world who would pay large sums of money to get this vaccine, and I don't know. People I know too who are smart. I know people with master's degrees who are vaccine hesitant because they just have like, I don't know. I think it's a political opinion at the end of the day that I don't know. I don't know how to break that. I'm trying, but I don't know how to break that. Anyway,
I don't
Vincent,
get it either, Dan.
So thanks for that call. But yeah,
hopefully more conversations like this help it.
I hope so too, Vincent. I hope so too. But I guess I keep going back to this idea that having personal one-on-one conversations is going to be way better than even just having video content out there for people, because ultimately our algorithms now and on every single platform we go to are going to be geared towards what you agree with already. And so, just doing that live one-on-one kind of conversation, I think is going to be super helpful for changing people's minds if that's what we're interested in doing. But big scientific topics can oftentimes, require a lot of knowledge on individual subjects, and all of us can't be experts on everything either. So it really comes down to the person and also their ability to talk to people. If you don't have good social skills, you might even be doing more harm than good in that. So yeah, there's no one reliable method, unfortunately, one unbroken method to do this kind of thing.
Fortunately, those who are vaccine hesitant are seldom well informed.
Yeah, it's true.
About like you may have a master's degree, but is it in epidemiology?
Yeah. Well,
what?
You don't have to be educated in anything to have a deeply held belief. So
true. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's absolutely.
Yeah.
I had a conversation with a guy at work who's vaccine hesitant the other day, and his argument was, well, if I catch the disease, I'm only killing myself. Well, what's your problem? I'm like, well, you don't understand. You're making it more dangerous for everybody else too, because other variants can pass through you and you can infect other people, right? Like, it's not just about you. Like, wouldn't you feel pretty terrible if you killed your grandma?
Yeah.
Like, of course you would, man. It's not just you.
But Nate, the come on, it's not real, man. It's not real.
I'm reminded of that scene from Seinfeld where George is like, we're living in a society here.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, we're all trying to get along, man.
I know.
I'm sorry.
Well, Vincent, that's about all the time we got for this call. But thank you for calling in on that topic, and appreciate you calling all the way from England. Also, by the way, Oliver from last week, who also called in from England, guys, in case you were watching, who did that awesome rap, did end up sending me the lyrics to that. So thank you, Oliver, for doing that rap. And they posted a remixed version of that rap song on the Truth Wanted Facebook fan page. So you guys should check that out if you have not yet already. It's awesome. Nate, have you heard this rap? Oh, it's so good.
No, I watched the show, but I haven't not heard the rap.
We did the original Truth Wanted rap last week, and it's my favorite thing ever. It's so good.
Wow.
So go check that out. That's a quick plug for the Facebook there.